Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome on the Culture News. My name is David Cerrero, and I have the pleasure to have today over the phone a very, very talented lady. Her name is Kara Kurtz. Let me spell it for you. Kara, it's Kara. Kurtz is spelled Kurcz. She is the wonderful host of a great podcast called Oh Gross. Oh, it's OH and gross with exclamation mark. It's a podcast that is nominated for the Webby Awards. We love these awards. We say hello to them. Webby, please check them out and go to vote for her right away. Science, fun, and facts to cure the cringe. She's going to talk to us all about it, the one and only Kara Kurtz. Kara, how are you today?
I'm so good and happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you to you. It's an honor to be with you today. So, would you be so kind to introduce yourself and what you've done so far, and how did you arrive to this wonderful podcast?
Yes, so I am an executive producer and a director, and I have my own production company, and I've made hundreds and hundreds of hours of television, both live and documentary. And across that journey, I've come across so many stories that either end up on the cutting room floor because of many different reasons, or there's not enough time to tell them. And there's so many questions that people have that never got answered. So when we were thinking about a podcast and how we would sort of, create a platform for people, Okra sort of became a no-brainer because we wanted to create a community where no question was too weird, and our experts and guests that came on felt they were unfiltered and they could talk about the things they've always wanted to talk about. They could talk about different parts of their life that maybe you didn't know and experiences they've had in this space. And it would be a community where, no topic would be taboo and information could be shared in a way where you don't have to worry about what other people think. And the actual evolution of Oh Gross was one, I don't know if your listeners or not feel this way, but there are so many times I am on social media and I see a post like this asking for a friend. What is this rash? Or, hey, this is an anonymous post. I think a kid in my class, another kid in the class had lice. Not my kid, not my kid. What do I do? There are so many times that we text other people or we go to social media because we're afraid to ask the questions, whether it be of our doctors or our friends. And that's kind of how Oh Gross came about. My co-host Jenny is a scientist, and I, being a journalist and investigative producer, we text each other all the time questions like, is this normal? Is this is this something I need to worry about? And we were like, wait a minute, that's a great starting point for the conversation. It's like, let's talk about the things that people think are too weird to ask. And it kind of started with health, but then we realized it wasn't just health, that there are so many ways that we're afraid to ask questions. And sometimes it's about what we're afraid of, like talking about disaster before it strikes, or those dark things in life that we're afraid if we say out loud, they're going to happen. Well, we're creating a platform where we talk about all of it and we talk about it in a way that you feel prepared, that anxiety goes down. There's no fear mongering, but you feel empowered and you realize that we're all thinking the same thing and we all have the same questions.
Wow, it's so inspiring to hear you talk, and now people, after hearing you, they're going to see that actually I'm not a good host because you're so much better. I can hear.
Too kind.
No, no, there's one thing that you will never have, Cara, is my beautiful French accent.
That is true. This is true.
That's it. That there will always be that gap between you and I is French accent. I know you're very jealous. So again, congratulations for this wonderful Webby Award nomination. Can you tell us what it meant for you to have this AB Award nomination? Because let me tell you, Webby Award is the number one award these days, and I want to know. I know them a little bit, so I want to know who are the marketing person because you cannot go on the internet, you cannot go on social media think about these awards. So they're really, really good. And it's the best thing around, really. No offense to the other awards, but that's really, for the podcast at least, is, I believe, really the number one. So we
Oh
hope.
yeah, it's like the Oscars. I mean, it really is. I mean, first of all, we're so honored. Second of all, we are the, and I don't want to say this in a bad way. We're sort of the, little podcast that did, we obviously, my whole team and I have a background in television and filmmaking, but we did this on our own. So we didn't have a network platform or anything. And to be nominated and recognized is just like, I mean, we were so emotional the day that we found out. But especially for this particular episode, which is the episode that we did on miscommunication and misinformation in crisis, inspired by the LA fires, because my family was evacuated during the LA fires, and we were lucky our home was not harmed, but so many people we know did go through that. And when the LA fires were happening, there was a lot of miscommunication and misinformation happening and confusing terms. I don't know, but there were just words being spoken on the television that so many people did not understand what they meant, So we decided to get together and tap into the resources that I have from doing all these investigations over the years. And I got together with a former FEMA master of public relations, Mike Jekyls, who's a dear friend of mine, and I've worked with a lot. And we kind of come in with a couple of people to tap into and do multiple episodes on how to navigate crisis, but not just for fires, but tornadoes and hurricanes or anything that happens in your home. And Kerry Sanders from NBC, the former correspondent at NBC, it was a no-brainer for us because he covered Hurricane Andrew. He covered, all these disasters, but most people know him in the last few years from the Today Show. He's that fun correspondent that would swim with sharks or scale mountains. But the truth is his foundation has always been in covering disaster. So he came onto our podcast and totally unfiltered, opening his heart and just talking to our listeners about his personal experience during disasters and what he's learned and what we can all learn about community and gross miscommunication and how to navigate it. So for us to have this episode particularly be recognized was just, I can't explain it. I'm getting chills as I say it out loud right now. And also to know that we were able to help people navigate something that was so difficult, and that other people across the country can take this information now, listen to it in a way that is explained simply, like anyone can understand, and they can apply it to anything in their life. I mean, he even gave tips on when he lands in a city, he prepares himself if his GPS while he's driving dips out and how he does that. Like so many little simple things you don't think that were able to be brought to everyone during this episode. So for us, this is the ultimate. And it's also a recognition that we know we're doing good work, and we know that we can make things fun, informative, factual. I mean, we have fun on our podcast. It's still really funny. My co-hosts and I, Jenny and Molly, we laugh all the time. Our guests laugh all the time, even though sometimes we're tackling serious subjects. And I think that this just shows that what we're doing is the right direction. And we're really excited because our podcast is actually only 5 months old.
Wow, 5 months old, and you have achieved
Yeah.
so much. That is so beautiful. My podcast is now 12 years old. No, 10-year old, and I haven't done 1% of you. So
Oh, stop. We love your podcast.
No. I'm doing more quantity than quality,
You're doing both. Look at you have
I'm
me
doing,
on. No,
oh,
I'm
you're
kidding.
sweet. You're sweet. No, we're blessed, and you are blessed also, and you're doing a lot of work, and that's really, really beautiful. So how can I vote for you?
So you can go to our socials at It's O Gross. That's It's O Gross, ITSOHGROSS on any of the social platforms, and we have exactly how to vote for us. And if you're already familiar with the Webbies and the Webby site, we are O Gross in the science and education category. We are up against some really important heavy hitters like CNN and Sanja. But we're super excited. Yeah, so you can hit us up on socials, or if you want to, you can go to tinyurl/ogrosswebby to vote for us as well at ogross.
Wow, beautiful. So you had also so the nominated episode, you told us about it. I want again to bring it out. It's LA Fires Crisis Mode, Avoiding Misinformation with Kerry Sanders. This was really it went #1. This is a wonderful episode and totally deserved to be nominated. So congratulations. So would you be, before we start to say goodbye, would you be so kind to tell us about what is coming up on Oh Gross?
Yes, this week we're super excited. My husband is a colon cancer survivor. So about 15 years ago, we had to navigate those waters, and he was diagnosed at the time with stage 3B colon cancer, and he was in his early 30s. And we knew that we wanted to take both a holistic healing approach as well as, you know, leaning in Western and modern medicine because he had to have surgery. And so we were doing all these things to improve his health. And back then there was no Facebook group where you could say, hey, support, have you done this? And I sent a message on one of those message boards. Has anyone ever used a plant-based or a food-based approach to helping themselves heal during colon cancer? And a woman wrote me back in the middle of the night and said, it's too late for me. I'm stage 4 colon cancer. But there's this guy out there. He's around your husband's age. He's been starting a blog. It's Chris Beat Cancer. You may want to reach out to him. So in the middle of the night, I emailed this guy, Chris Work, and said, hey, I got your email and this is my husband's story. We connected. The stories were very similar. And Chris at the time told me, I want to, when I'm 10 years clean, take a very large platform to get this information out to everybody on how they can support their healing and they can prevent, cancer from happening. We'll cut to 15 years later. Chris is now a best-selling author. He is a major influencer in, plant-based and holistic-based healing. And he came on and did 2 episodes with us. We share the story about Brian's cancer, but also what we're tackling the first episode is what we're seeing a lot of in the news right now, which is this idea that microplastics are being found in human cadavers, in the brain, et cetera. So we tackle the fear part of it. We give you the facts, and we have real takeaways on how you can improve simply your health without being scared and protect yourself from microplastics in your home.
Wow. Well, congratulations again for your husband and the good things, the good news that you told us, definitely. So I want to say also, as you told us that you're a filmmaker, you're also a showrunner.
Yes.
Can you tell us more about your career in that, I should say, in that avenue?
Well, I've done several crime. I've created and produced and directed several crime series. I got my start, believe it or not, as intern in America's Most Wanted, and then went on to work for them for many years. That's how I got my start in crime television. I've executive produced many crime shows, including Live PD, which is a popular one for a while that everyone knew. And I've created lots of series like on Oxygen and Peacock that are in the documentary space, and have done a lot of investigative health shows. I did Chasing the Cure with Ann Curry. And throughout that whole time, my job has always been connecting with people, interviewing them, creating a space where they feel that they can tell their truth and share their story. And I've just met so many people, and it's been so wonderful to take all those contacts over the years as a investigative producer and journalist, and now be able to have a platform to reconnect with some of those people again, but be able to talk about it in a different way that is, where maybe they've always wanted to do. We are told by our guests all the time that it's so cool that they can sort of, first of all, have no time limit, and second of all, talk about things in a way they've never been allowed to. So it's been pretty great. But yeah, I've won a Critics' Choice Award. I've multiple nominations, and I've really, really, really enjoyed and been lucky and blessed to be in a career that I love and I'm passionate about. And we've taken a lot of personal stories. We kind of specialize in true stories, whether that be scripted or non. And we're just excited that we've been able to, with our company Motivate Media, continue to tell these stories on, multiple platforms. So yeah.
That is so beautiful. So don't take it the wrong way, but I hope I will never be featured in one of your crime TV series.
Yeah, do not take it the wrong way. I'll tell you what, you don't have to feature one of our crime series, but you may want to do
So
one of
maybe
ours.
as a witness at the
Yeah,
most.
yeah, exactly. No, I do not take it the wrong way, but we also do a lot of great biopics and a lot of great true stories. So you can be in one of those.
Okay. That sounds more exciting to me. It's amazing. I have a friend of mine who is an attorney and specialize in criminal affairs, and he said, when people see me, they're never happy. Really have
Well,
something bad going on. So it's really wonderful to have you, and such a pleasure to have you. And so we can follow you on Instagram, right?
yes. You can get, if you're, our podcast is at It's Oh Gross, but I am at Stress Spurt. the Stresspert. I'm Stresspert. STRESSPERT on Instagram.
Yeah, I just added you. So now you have a new follower, and thank you. From here will take off, you know.
Perfect.
God knows,
Exactly.
you can maybe produce one day a crime series. God
Yeah.
knows, you
Well,
know.
listen, I tell you something, like, because we do a lot of crime, that's true, but we do a lot of other things too. And what I say is that everything is always a puzzle in life, isn't it? So
Mm.
my crime foundation has helped me solve a lot of mysteries in general, whether it is where are my keys, right? Or what might this weird rash be? So I've got a lot of great investigative skills.
Well, listen, you're absolutely wonderful, and this is your show, okay? You can call anytime, and please. So the vote is open until Thursday, right? So you
Friday.
have,
They can vote till Friday.
oh, Friday. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Please
Yes. So
send
please vote. Vote, vote, vote. Oh,
definitely.
gross Webbies. Yes.
And there is, you go on the, it's a vote that webbyawards.com/public voting, etc., until you find, in the Webby people's voice, and you start. And honestly, you guys are the best. I mean, it shouldn't be too difficult to vote, but
Thank you. Thank
and
you.
and we want you, of course, to succeed. Of course, the others are great. There's no offense, huh?
We're
Um,
honored to be in the same category as those people, but yes,
exactly,
but vote for us. I mean, but let's get
exactly.
real.
That's
Let's
what
vote
I'm
for
saying.
us.
It's like my mom. She says Spielberg is nice, but my son is better.
Exactly, exactly.
What we do. So listen, this is your show. We're so happy to have you. We say hello to our friend Amy Prenner, who
I
actually
will.
used me to you. So I'm so grateful. And it's my tradition when I meet someone great, I always have a thought for the person who introduced us. So thank you, Amy Prenner. You're wonderful. So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is David Sarira. I had the pleasure to have today over the phone on iHeart Radio, the Culture News. This extraordinary lady, she's the host, but she's also a filmmaker, showrunner, and many, many more things. Kara Kurcz. Let me spell it for you. It's Kurcz. You can check her out. She has done amazing things, and she has a great podcast. You have to follow that podcast. It's called Oh Gross, Oh Gross, with an exclamation mark. Science, fun, and facts to cure the cringe. She's absolutely wonderful. And of course, go to vote for her to win this great Webby Award. Right now, more music to follow up on iHeart Radio. Stay tuned with us. It's a beautiful day.